What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to continue with the truck bed coating, painting the fender wells on my 97 Mitsubishi. So on the last video we went ahead and painted right here the drums using the Rustoleum high performance enamel in gloss black, and also the lower control arms, I'm gonna call them. And over here on top we painted the fender wells using the truck bed coating. So everything turned out really nice. So we're gonna do the same over on the front. Just show you real quick. So we're gonna do the same thing over here in front. I had already went ahead and washed the fender wells. We're just gonna remove the tires and just go to town. But first, just gonna go ahead and put the tires over here in the back first, lower the car, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, here are the fender wells in front. So I did wash these as best as I could, but there's still some, like over here on top, there's still some undercoating that was there from before. I didn't want to come off, it was just too stubborn, and I used some brushes and even some sandpapers to clean out the lower control arms here. But right here in front, I'm only gonna do with the bed coating using a brush. I'm not gonna bother covering like the strut or anything else. I'm not gonna use any spray cans to paint any of the lower control arms or suspension, because I am gonna come back and just redo the suspension here, just upgrade to new parts. So we're just gonna do what's the fender wells with the bed coating, and that's it. Show you guys the other side. Over here on this side, the same thing. There's still over here on top some bed coating from before, so just gonna paint over that. Alright, so here are the fender wells, nicely painted. My battery is pretty low, so I can't turn on the flash, but I did the first coat on camera, and then after that did another coat just to give it some extra layers of protection there. So everything came out pretty nice. Even right here, like I went to the back side and just painted everything, and they look pretty clean. Um, Also, I went ahead and finished removing the exhaust from the car. I'm gonna have to redo like the exhaust. I had mentioned that over here on the turbo that I just wanted to, after this, like, you know, like 90, that I was gonna just take the pipe out of the bumper somewhere right here, make a hole, and then have the exhaust coming out through there. But you know, I just want, like, after driving it a few times just like that, it is pretty loud. So I just want it just a little bit quieter, at least run the exhaust, you know, towards the back, that way I don't hear it that much. So this is completely stock exhaust. You have your wide band, narrow band, or whatever. They're just the upstream and downstream regulars. But catalytic converter, little flex tube, flex pipe, another catalytic converter, and then maybe like a resonator. And then over here we have a flange. That after that is the muffler, and then followed by a little exhaust tip. But this pipe is 1 7/8, so it is pretty small. Over here on the turbo, I started off with a 2.5-inch pipe, you know, coming down. Someone had also mentioned, because at the beginning I had this turbo clocked the other way, the cold side over here on this side, and then the hot side. I think this is the compressor and the turbine. I might be wrong, correct me. But anyways, I had it flipped the other way around. The only problem that I had was that the cold side was going to be right here underneath the wastegate, and it was going to be shooting straight onto the cold side. So that's why I flipped it around. That way I could just I might have to get like some type of, you know, to extend the wastegate a little bit, or clock it, you know, flip a little bit. That way I can recirculate the wastegate into the exhaust. But yeah, all this is going to be like a cheap setup, which is, you know, the turbo is from eBay. I got it for 100 bucks, 100 and something. Wastegate unbranded also. And right now I had the measuring tape, and I was just measuring just to confirm, because I already have some parts on the cart that I want to get, intercooler piping and intercooler. So I measured right here. The intercooler, I mean the turbo, coming out of the turbo is 2 inches. So I need a coupler that goes from 2 inches to 2.5 for the piping. And then got the intercooler. And then over here, the, you know, for the intake, this is 2 3/4. So I'm gonna need another 2.5 to 2 3/4 coupler, and then little pipe with the blow-off valve flange and a blow-off valve. So the intercooler I have, the one I have in the cart, is from Black Horse Racing, and yeah, pretty much an eBay setup. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mentioned the exhaust over here, you know, like the Fender wells are already done. Turbo setup, I want to try to, you know, finish this up because I've been holding it off. And you know, I did mention that there was a bit of trimming that I had to do over here on the bumper, that way I can fit the intercooler. I might have to remove that bar right there that holds on to the hood latch. In any case, I might have to remove the latch also. And then in case I do have to, I'll probably put some hood pins and then just, you know, drill some holes in the hood. And also this one, the bumper support, I might have to either modify it or remove it and install, like, make a custom, you know, bumper bar. But it all depends on how the intercooler wants to fit in there. So, you know, just taking one step at a time. And it's going guys. So here's the car. You guys be sure to leave me some comments, you know, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'm still working on this one, but now that I have the front and the back fender wells, you know, like, I could just install the tires and just hold it off to a side. I'm still gonna do the cut and buff the wet sand and polish on the paint, since I just painted it and just left it like that. The paint is already dry by now, like it's been sitting for a while now, so the paint should be good to cut and buff. But I also had shown you guys that I had a paint kit for a Silverado, so I'm probably gonna do that one before I do any more work on this one. The intercooler, you know, in the meantime, I'm gonna order it. By the time it gets here, hopefully I have some work done already on the Silverado. But thank you for all your support, and I know Christmas is just around the corner, so happy holidays to everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I hope to see you guys on my next video. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.